hurt you. It can no longer impact you. You deserve to be released from it. Only you hold the key. So if you would like to, you can let it go. 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 Free yourself from the past and welcome this new beautiful life. Free yourself from the past and welcome this new beautiful life. Free yourself from the past and welcome this new beautiful life. Free yourself from the past and welcome this new beautiful life. Free yourself from the past and welcome this new beautiful life. Free yourself from the past. Free yourself and welcome this new beautiful life. And welcome this new free yourself from the past. Free yourself and welcome this from the past. And welcome this free yourself from the past. Free yourself and welcome this new beautiful life. And welcome this new free yourself from the past. Free yourself and welcome this new beautiful life. And welcome this new free yourself from the past. Free yourself and welcome this new beautiful life. And welcome this new free yourself from the past. Free yourself and welcome this from the past. And welcome this free yourself from the past. Free yourself and welcome this new beautiful life. Free yourself. Free yourself. Free yourself from the past. And welcome this new beautiful life. I'm just gonna draw some Reiki symbols on your chakras, just to put you in this place of ease, of letting go of what no longer serves you. You gotta let it go, but also you also have to understand that by letting it go, that means a lot of things have to be let go. So maybe you met people, or you're in situations that only work for your trauma, and you might feel okay in them, you're like, fine. But to release the trauma requires you to let these other things go too. And 9 times out of 10, you don't know which one it is. You're like, oh, I thought this was toxic, but this is really toxic. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Because you have something that is so much more deserving in your life. Something that deserves more of your attention, more of you. And the best thing you can do is free yourself. Is free yourself. Free yourself. Free yourself from the past. From the past. 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 Free yourself from the past. Free yourself from the past. Past. Free yourself from the past. Free yourself from yourself from the past. How do you feel? How do you feel? I'm going to go in a little bit and remove anything taking up space. Allow it to be free. You have moved on, love. You are in a better place, a better space, and y'all know I used to respond to everyone. So now that I have some more time, I'm gonna jump in and continue this beautiful conversation because I love to hear what you all are up to. But again, do not let that intimidate you. If you want to say something, say what you need to say. It is just a beautiful, loving space to hold for your self-care routine. And if you're returning, welcome back, babies. You know how much I love you. Okay, so during this session today, we're going to be working on soulmate healing. Now, I want to be very precise with this because y'all know I love that we have so much enthusiasm. Actually, I want to say I love that I enjoy doing any kind of like love and attraction, true love healing. But there's a lot to unwrap first, and I am a strong believer. Don't just jump into shit, okay? Before you really know what's going on. Oh, I really want this person. Oh, let me just find a healing that's gonna give me that person. Okay, baby. Until the shit hits the fan, let's process this as we go through the healing session, because at the end of the day, my feelings about this will never change. The love and the unconditional support and the true sense of belonging has to come from yourself, to yourself first. And then that demonstration of love, commitment, devotion that you have to yourself is then what is reflected outside of you, so that others can be attracted to that. And baby, you worried about one person, you might have options, okay? So let's go ahead and hop into this. So I'm going to start by just working with the energy here and just relaxing you. Just be in a vibrational state of ease, of understanding, of self-acceptance. And I want you to suspend the need to change yourself for the right person. We can always work on self-improvement. There might be some patterns that we need to let go, some toxic behavior. But these other things, like, oh, I gotta look a different way, or I have to be a different personality that is just you putting on a role or a front, suspend that. We don't have time for it. We want the right energy for you, the type of energy that is for you. So if you're new, we start the session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a collective in a community. And because consent matters, which is the theme, always and forever, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, babies. Okay, may I touch you? Okay. Just touch you right there. Breathe in and out, okay? You got this. Good job, good job, good job. Okay. Take a deep breath in. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So I'm gonna go with just some Reiki symbols in the four corners. energizing, but I'm gonna try to keep it PG because I'm not gonna use the term that I want to use. But toxic. Toxic stuff. If you know, you know what I'm trying to say right now. Sometimes that can get you really hooked, and you shouldn't. I have cinnamon. And you shouldn't get so, caught up in that, because it's actually the uncertainty that releases endorphins in our brain that gets us like wanting to continue to flow with that kind of stuff. So let's just bless the space. Okay, just follow that. I want you to follow it back and forth. Got it. You're doing a fantastic job, babies. Okay, good job. Just breathing in and out here. Releasing, relaxing, letting go of anything no longer serving you. I don't know why I was like reduce, reuse, recycle. I don't know, but that's always a good message. Oh, is it my first tangent of the day? It has to be. I actually saw a documentary that said that reusing is much more productive than recycling, because recycling has to go through an entire industrial chain again, whereas the reuse is instantly using your products right there. So if we can relate that to this, just be okay with who you are. I don't even know if that was a good analogy. I don't know, whatever. Just be okay with who you are. And again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to become better at maybe some areas that you are a little bit nervous about when it comes to relationships and love and stuff like that. But this need to change yourself, I don't like it. Also, if someone has wanted you to change, or you think you need to change for someone, this is for all my actual babies out here, all my those who are a little bit younger. Don't change yourself for anybody. Please don't. You're gonna waste a lot of your time. Okay. And if you're like me, I'll be like, you need to change yourself for me. No, I'm just kidding. No, just accept yourself for who you are and allow others who accept themselves for who they are to be there too. So now let's actually go in and do some of the work of shifting. So just connecting you with your soulmate. And again, we have a lot of soulmates. We have friends. You ever have that friend or a couple of friends who it just is y'all are like that. Communication is like that, or certain family members or something like that in your life where y'all just like that. But this is more focusing on a romantic soulmate, partnership soulmate, and that kind of stuff. Not to be confused with twin flame energy, because that's a whole nother conversation that I guess we're gonna have right now in this moment as we're doing this work. Continue to breathe in and out. Again, I'm paid in smiles, so I try to make you laugh because that's what I get. So with twin flames, oftentimes the twin flame can be toxic. It's that person. What it reminds me of is South Node. If you know astrology, South Node energy, something that just is you're so easily attracted to, but it just brings out either the best or the worst in you. And those swings from high to low, I don't know if it's really that healthy, but sometimes when you're trying to learn something about yourself on a soul level about love, you may attract those twin flames in order to learn that. And to the point where you no longer need to learn that, you find freedom, you find peace, and you might even accept the twin flame for who they are. That's when they start to release themselves out of your life. That's when they start to go do something else, because is also learning something on their soul. So ultimately, the soul is trying to learn something. And you all can form together to work with each other through that path. Now, I'm not going to preach any kind of like one type of relationship type. That's your business. I truly don't care. I truly don't care. But what I do care about is the quality of those people in your life, whether they are here for a little bit or here for a long time. That matters, and that vibrationally is gonna stay consistent. Okay, got it, got it, got it. So let's make sure you are balanced so that you are able to receive the right person. And I want to make sure that you let go of unnecessary expectations you are placing on yourself to receive this. Okay, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best example or representation of you in every moment of the day. It's okay. But what you do need to do is just keep your heart open and have faith in whatever it is you have faith in, but most importantly, yourself. And that is the energy that brings a sense of vulnerability and, you know, just being authentic in who you are. So connecting with your energy here, starting in the heart chakra, allowing that to grow and to expand, pushing back past any boundaries or any limits you may have had when it comes to love. As far as any relationship has ever gone, bring that energy even further. And what you're connecting to on the other side, of course, is yourself, right? Because that's the easiest way to practice how to give unconditional love. If you practice giving it to yourself, and it can circle back around, it can loop, it can do whatever it needs to do. So bring that energy back. So any relationship you've ever had, bringing it past any points that you may have been at before, just bringing it all the way back into your end destination, whatever that is. And then I want you to focus and practice on strengthening this. So before it might have been like a little stream of energy, just allow it to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Just pulling it back, 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 pulling it back. Now, as you are sending that love out to yourself, you also have to receive it. So feel at the same time what it feels like to receive the unconditional love. Feel that in that moment. Open yourself up wider and wider. So before you might have just had like just a little area where you're like, oh, okay, thanks. But just allow your receptivity to grow, because this will help so that you're not over giving to others and not being able to receive. Or you might not be able to give to others and you also might not be able to receive. So let's open and expand this area here. Got it, got it, got it. Expansion, 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 expansion. And just taking a couple moments here. Send as much love and receive as much love from yourself as possible in this moment. I'll just hold the space while you do this. And if you need to have certain things you say to yourself, you can say things like, I love you so much. You are so amazing. You are everything that matters to me. You are important to me. You are everything I work so hard for. It is to make you proud. Any kind of sweet things, y'all know. Any kind of sweet words. Just say that there and just continue to expand. Filling up, filling up, filling up. And I want you to maintain this cycle. Just maintain the cycle. And now we're going to actually work on the soulmate. So let's bring this energy down. And we're going to mirror the exact exercise that you just had. So they are given a light opportunity. And it has to come from you, because you're the only one that can send the signal out to them that they would be able to receive it in a way that actually is able to connect. So seeing them, you don't have to physically know what they look like. So don't at any moment yet stop filling yourself up and you want to start pouring energy over there to them. Nope, we're not there yet. I want you to focus on you, but I also want you to see them and notice how beautiful it is when they take care of themselves. This is super important because when you get into interactions and relationships with other people, if you start pouring into the other person before it's time, then you will be depleted. You have to find the right qualities in the right person. I don't mean to be very hard right now, but I'm gonna be honest. I want to save your heart from a lot of heartache. So what you should be attracted to is a person who cares for themselves, for a person who loves on themselves. And you have to care for yourself and love on yourself too, because you may actually be the person who might need the most work. You might see somebody loving and caring on themselves, and you're used to pouring into somebody, and you think that that's them being selfish. No, not at all. You have to switch and you have to change, and vice versa. So we're going to continue to hold this space on both sides as you are filling yourself up, and see this energy that you are creating around expanding, expanding, expanding until the energy touches, and then you do become a force, connecting on an energetic level before you even have to connect on a mental, physical, emotional level. Connecting on this energetic level. Okay. And I want you to pay attention to how good the feelings are. How does it feel? Because you notice at no point are you pouring your energy into them, or are they pouring their energy into you. You're pouring your energy into yourself. You're releasing, you're letting go, and naturally you all are coming together, and the energy is just lovely and beautiful, feels good. You don't have to be in control of everything. Not everything has to be like a very oh, you gotta do this, gotta do that, da da da. Just love on yourself. You want to attract out into the world what you want to receive, okay? So continue to work on this, and seeing yourselves get closer to the point where you could touch a hand or a shoulder or something like that, and just feel a sense of calm and peace come over the body. Again, you are still individually filling yourselves up, but now you have a force or an ability to be able to do something, a force or an ability to work together. Do you see how natural this feels with them? It's not forced. It's not the toxic highs and lows. It's simply acceptance, love, and peace from something that is so beautiful and so sweet. So I'm gonna hold a couple moments here and just continue to practice this, staying in this space, surrendering to the outcome. Don't try to control that. It doesn't have to look anyway. That is the ego, the false sense of self-worth. I'm not even gonna go down a whole ego, false sense of self rabbit hole. It's just, you may be used to doing things a certain way, and you should just be able to release, surrender, and know that the universe is going to bless you without even you having to try. If you can receive the fact that the universe will bless you without you even having to try, it'll be easier for you to just come together in this energy, okay? Well, family, you did a fantastic job today, and I really enjoyed this with you, okay? So let's go ahead and smooth over your aura, seal you with the sign of the infinity, and say, first and foremost, Reiki level 1 is coming up. You can register for that September 1st. Also, Reiki Master Teachers cohort from 2020. I will be reaching out to you, babies. I have not forgotten. And working on a program for those who want to work deeply on their personal healing journey, but they're not wanting to become a practitioner, and all the other stuff that happens. So, place for Venus to be in, because Venus in Virgo sees things for as they actually are. The love has to be practical. The love has to be consistent. The love has to be worth it, worth the effort. It actually doesn't ones. That's how we're going to call them, your day ones, whether that's friends, family, love, whatever, or the things you're passionate about. You're going to just appreciate that so much. And let me not fail to mention, whatever, the most important love you need to have is for yourself. Because you will look an entire lifetime for a love you're looking for that is readily available to you now. Don't give your love to somebody else when it's really the self-love that you need to give. Pour yourself up. I realized that the more self-love that I give myself, the more that the people who need me to give them love and they don't want to give it to themselves, they don't want to give it back to me, the more that they start to kind of like remove themselves in my life. And those who are filling themselves up and giving love freely just like me easily stay in my life, float in my life, stay connected without there having to be a feeling of possession, or there's a sense of freedom and things like that. And you know, if you just let the universe, God, source, whatever you believe in, if you just let that energy float freely, I guarantee you're gonna get what you're looking for. Okay. So it's very short and sweet. We do not have any retrograde Venus energy this year. At least something, right? But love should be, oh, this is the best way I can describe it. My first memory of true love or what real love is when I was a little girl and I was in kindergarten. There was my kindergarten classroom was like around a hallway, and then you had to turn a corner to get to the front door. And my grandfather picked me up every day, and I think this is like indicative of Virgo, Venus and Virgo energy, or that kind of energy where even though I had to turn a corner before I could see him, real love is, as a little girl walking out of that classroom, excited to see him and knowing that 100% of the time when I turned that corner, he would always be there. Like, that is something that I pull from today, of knowing what real love is. To know that it does not disappoint you, that it is consistent, that it is dependable, but just that feeling of, oh, I'm so excited to see him. I turn that corner and he's sitting right there. And how at peace a soul can be when love shows up for you consistently. So that's my little Venus and Virgo kind of metaphor story. Now, best believe I went through life and made some poor choices, but eventually it circled back around. You know, when you're young, you don't pay attention to that shit. You're just like, oh, okay. Feel free to share any stories of love that let you know that the love was dependable or there, you know. Allow this to be a collective space. So, now let's go ahead and think about what your Venus is in. So natally, so in your natal chart, what your Venus is in, what your house is. I've been talking about it all week about the planets, your natal chart's planet in the house that natal chart is in. We can even take it to another level and talk about what house it's transiting. We don't have to do all that though. So what is your Venus in? Okay, I just told you mine is in Leo. And so you have to think about the relationship between the energy being what you are naturally and the energy that is flowing right now when it comes to Venus. Okay, and so you have to be nice to yourself. For example, if I look at, let's see, I'm going to choose something different. If I look at Venus, let me not choose a fire sign. Let me look at Venus in Pisces. If I look at Venus in Pisces, some cinnamon. Okay. Y'all know it's my favorite herb, cinnamon. I used to eat a lot of cinnamon as a child, probably way more than I should have. But just breathing this around your energy. Okay. And cinnamon represents properties of grounding, properties of consistency, situation where you will not show up for yourself. There's never a situation where you will not be able to find the right answer. But you've figured it out many times before, okay? So this will just be another day, another day where you figure it out. And sometimes life isn't as hard as it has to be. Sometimes we're just afraid and we build up things that then we have to conquer instead of just flowing and allowing the universe to take us where we need to go, where we need to grow, and where we need to let go of some stuff. So sit in this energy with yourself, holding your own hand, feeling this constant rejuvenation of energy flowing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. A couple more breaths. Final breath. And release and relax. Just let it go. Okay. The energy should be nice and calm. Okay. Release any sense of lack or desperation. You do not want that during the session, or you will just attract something that brings you lack and desperation. We don't want that. We don't want that. We say true love, not just any old love, true love, okay? But we have to start, and I do mean but, we do need to start with understanding that attracting true love is not about seeking validation from the outside in. Attracting true love is falling deeply and madly in love with yourself, making sure that you have all your needs met so that you will be open to the right scenario when it comes, so that your life is in the perfect energetic flow that it needs to be to receive the love that you truly want. You can't be desperate. You can't be sad. You can't be in a state of lack, because love that comes to you that way will only perpetuate that energy. You have to be at peace, acceptance, balance. Now, if you happen to just be like, oh, I'm going through it, it is okay. Take your time. Do not rush, even if you felt like you've been looking for a long time. Do not rush. Take your time. Find a space to fall in love with self first, because that is the most important thing. You model to people how to treat you. And if you cannot fall in love with yourself, how can anyone ever fall in love with you? Cheat code, baby, cheat code. So you demonstrate to other people how to treat you. So make sure your demonstration is that of the highest energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the session. We start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to root us down in our individual healing experience. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I touch you, babies? Okay. Just take a deep breath in, filling up, okay? Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So just feel that in your energy, and I'm just going to go in and backwards, just giving you some space here to just go with this flow, okay? Go with this flow, go with this flow, go with this flow, go with this flow, go with doing in this space is you're showing the body that it deserves unconditional love. Many people know what conditional love is. You learn it a lot of places. You learn it in romance, but you learn it in family first. You also learn it in friendship and other things like that. When you allow your body to receive love unconditionally without expectations as well as without requirements, you start to tolerate less love that is conditional. Even if your beginning foundations of understanding what love is highly based on conditional love, a lot of times people get stuck in the same kind of love pattern simply because that's what they were born into. And a lot of people just think just because you're born into something, that's the natural thing, that's what you should be. It's not. It's not. Question and challenge everything. Always be able to change if it is not for your highest vibrational good. So breathing in here, I'm going to go in now with these Reiki symbols. Take 3 deep breaths for me. Okay. Okay. Now feel that over your energy. Feel that over your head. Feeling that all around you, okay? Balance in this moment. Be patient here with yourself, okay? Just relax, and I'm going to just shift this energy. Again, allowing that unconditional love to flow in the heart, and it requires nothing. You gotta release that idea that love has to be so conditional, that you are not allowed to have it until you have X, Y, and Z, or, you know, whatever that weirdness is. Just let it go. Believe me, it's a lot easier than you think because it's much more accessible than you think. You have an unlimited amount of unconditional love that you have access to at any and every moment of the day from yourself. And when you start to vibrate at that frequency, you then attract that energy around in your family, your loved ones, your friends. Even in a working environment, you'll bring that energy in front of you. But it starts with you. We have to remove the expectation that love is an external requirement from another person. We have to remove the expectation that love is an external requirement from another person. Love is a self-requirement first, and everything else flows. You want to know why? Because when you love yourself unconditionally and someone pops up in your life and they're still not doing right, you know what you do? You have no tolerance for it. You don't, because you know how sweet this person in their life, okay? See how they're sitting in their life, thinking about their ideal person, okay? And your energy starts to pop up. Y'all better stop playing these games and get out here and just enjoy life. Your energy starts to pop up, and the way that they feel when they see you, when they sense you, when they're hoping that they can find you, baby. Hello. And when you first meet this person, or the person is already in your life and you're going to connect on a different level, how would you want your first impression to be? Would you want it to be very hard and serious? No. You want it light, airy, and fun. You want them to see their forever person in you, right? So we're going at it from that angle. Imagine that you are in their shoes and they're just trying to get close to you. They're trying to get close to you, trying to get close to you, just trying to get closer and closer to you. Is your life in order in the way it needs to be so that you can receive them? Are you no longer in a state of lack? Are you no longer in a state of desperation? Are you at a balanced place energetically so that when they see you, they see the best part of you, not a part of you that is not what you truly are, which is beauty, light, infinite hope, infinite love, okay? That's why I say you gotta fall in love with yourself first, because when you do that, you reflect out to them a stronger energy and a stronger beam that connects you two together. That's why the cheat code is you gotta fall in love with yourself. I've been trying to tell you since making them fall in love with you. But you also have to make space in your life too, so R.I.P. to some stuff you gotta just let go. People, situations, circumstances, most importantly, mentalities. If you have been hurt before, if you have been in, different kind of situations, whether that is love has always been troubling for you ever since your upbringing, you have to let that go, and it's going to be scary. It's going to feel uncomfortable letting it go because you'll feel a little crazy. Wait, that's how I always thought about things, da 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 da. Let it go. Because if you really want something better, it will never come from satisfying the fears of that. It won't. You have to completely let it go and just be at peace and calm with the love that you get now. It doesn't require anything. That is conditional love. This is unconditional love. So let's go ahead and root that all together. Root it all together. Root it all together. Root it all together. And I know that, we are for grown-ups here, but I know sometimes some kids are listening, and I will say that love will always be, and teenagers too. Love needs to start from yourself first. You're going to go on an entire journey in this life looking for it outside of you to only realize that it's always been in you. Babies, keep it in you. Keep your love, your energy, your focus in you, and you will surround yourself with friends and all kinds of people who will always make you feel great. session today. I hope you enjoyed it as well. It is always so lovely to be here, and let me say thank you for allowing me to facilitate your self-healing journey. I get so much life purpose out of this. It means a lot to you all, and it means even more to me that you allow me to be in this space. I live in a constant state of gratitude for it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna try not to tear up because I'm emotional and my Mercury is in Cancer, but thank you for showing up for yourselves, and thank you for doing all this hard work as you continue to go after all of these big goals and dreams. I know it's not easy, but it's also not impossible, and this is an open and inclusive community for you babies, okay? Hello. I don't ever feel like there's a point in this journey where I stop and that I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna tell you what to do. This is your life, okay? You gotta come up with your own rules, and I just like to facilitate a space. So sometimes people are in the space and they just journal, or they just write, or they might do something that just makes them feel good, and that's accepted as well. And if you just want to go to sleep, because I know I listen to ASMR to fall asleep. So why not? But let's get into it. Like, we're doing like life work, and that's what I'm realizing, that we're doing life work. But let's get into it. So we start off with a prayer. As I said before, it is not a religious prayer. The prayer itself is a channeling. A channeling is something that comes up in lineages, traditions, different paths, in order to connect to whatever you believe is out there or what you don't believe. It's not a requirement for you to believe that there is something out there. It's just you have to connect to whatever your understanding, complex or simple, that it is. You are opening yourself up to it. So as I say the prayer, which I change because I'm always changing, and I'm fine with that. When I say the prayer, feel free to add anything you need to add into it. I used to say specific things, so I'll say specific wisdom teachers. As I'm continuing to go on my journey, I just feel different. I feel like there are so many wisdom teachers. I'd be here all day trying to say a prayer like that. So you add what you need, and just to add a little bit of cinnamon on top, because it's one of my favorite herbs. When we do cleansings, we use cinnamon. Just to add a little bit of cinnamon on top. I want you to use this opportunity to change your mentality when it comes to looking at mindfulness, esoteric experiences, esoteric mindfulness, and I want to give you the autonomy and the freedom to create whatever life you want, or create any understanding to learn and to change and to grow and to do all of these things. This is a safe space for you, so it doesn't have to look a certain part. It doesn't have to mirror something. It doesn't have to do anything except support you. So whatever you need, take, and what you don't, baby, just let it go. Like, don't even worry about it. What's for you, baby, is for you. And so I want you to go where love loves you back. So we're gonna work today on channeling that energy so that you can be aware and you can be receptive to that, because sometimes it's hard to see, and it might be in certain areas of life too. And then I always like to do like little life lessons too, but let's jump on it. Also, if you really like my vibe and would like additional support, and again, sometimes it's mystical, sometimes it's just self-care, sometimes it's mindfulness, head on over to the Patreon community, where we are this inner circle of collectiveness, and so that is support there too. So let's go ahead and get started with the prayer. I'm still reading it because it's still new, and yeah, so because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, may I touch you? Okay. Just an inhale and an exhale, just letting some stuff go. Okay, you ready? Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to the highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineage loves you back, baby, you know, just like feel like grateful, you know. Don't rush through life. Don't want to not enjoy the beauty of it because of the little stuff. Don't make yourself too busy. And if you're not in a space yet where love loves you back, then what I would say to you is let's start to craft it. Let's use this month, you know, depending on on is I was listening to an interview with Sister Soldier because of course, Life After Death, the book is coming out, and she talked about how prior to the pandemic, she had been saying that everybody just needed a year to themselves to really sit and think, if you didn't have tomorrow, what would you be doing with your life? And that, I think, you have someone special and you want them to think of you. Okay? So let's open the heart up first and see what's going on. Before we can get someone to think of you, we first have to make sure that you are a whole person. Whole person. Whole person. Whole person. So let's check your heart. And open that up. Now, I typically see there are one or two reasons why a person would want someone to think of them when looking at their heart, especially the heart chakra. The first reason is because the person does not feel enough. They want external validation. They're looking for something outside of them to make them feel whole. And the second reason is because this person is ready for a partnership. They're ready for the right connection. So, before we bring this person into your life, we have to first and foremost make sure that you have enough internally and you are the latter half, which is you're looking for the right connection. So in this moment, just surrender who that person is. Just don't think about it, let it go. And let's just go to the root of the feeling, whatever that feeling is, okay? And just sit with the feeling for a moment. I want, and you're taking the person out of it, but it's just that feeling. Sit with it. How does it make you feel sitting with your desire or your goal? Now, if you are at peace, then you are ready to receive that person. If you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like you're behind, if you feel like you'll never find the love that you're looking for, if you feel like there's something wrong with you, if you feel sad, if you feel anxious, if you feel all of these things, you're not quite ready. But we're going to use this session to get you there, okay? And the reason why we're doing this and not just jumping in and trying to get you to attract a person to you is because you do not want to attract the wrong person, okay? We can manipulate energy. We can use these principles from the universe to get what we need. But if you are not in the right energetic balance, you're just going to attract things that will continue to make you feel exactly the way that you feel. Now, for those who feel at peace, please do not feel like you have to take any of this stuff in, okay? Please don't feel like you have to take any of this stuff in. Just release it, let it go. Maybe there are memories of when you remember that you felt a similar way. But let this be confirmation to you that you're in the right place. So for that first group, just placing my hand in front of your heart, infusing a need for self-love or a bit of reception for self-love. If you can, if it's possible for you, take both of your hands, put it on your heart, breathe in and out, take my hands there too, and fill yourself up. Just see it as if it was this beautiful waterfall. Just, you're being poured up, like a cup. You're just being poured all the way up, and feel it in your heart. And as I pull away, create more and more space in that heart, okay? More and more space in the heart, 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 more and more space. Okay. And inside the heart, inside the heart, inside the heart, say, I am enough. I have enough. I am enough. I have enough. I love me fully. I am enough. I have enough. I love me fully. I am enough. I have enough. part is we're going to take out any feelings that make you feel like you don't have enough of whatever that thing is, okay? Let's pull it out. And as you're inhaling and exhaling, just release more and more of this. Let it go. Let go of that grip right there, okay? Just release it and let it go. You might feel your hands, if able. You might feel your body. You might feel a lot of parts just releasing as we're pulling out, okay? And just breathe into your body. Breathe into your body, okay? Breathe into it, breathe into it, breathe into it. Breathe into it, breathe into it, breathe into it. And I'm going to put my hand on your feet. I'm going to push them down as if to bring the energy down, and you're very strong and sturdy. Bringing that down. Placing my hand to the heart. And I want you to check back in with yourself. How do you feel now? I'm hoping that you feel less of that need. Now, as you continue to work on this, let's go ahead and incorporate the second group and allow us all to have this collective attraction session here, okay? So as you are at this place of peace in your heart, where you are enough, you know that you are beautiful, you know that you are interesting, you know that you are funny, you know all of these things, okay? And you have given these things to yourself. You've given yourself attention, you've given yourself affection, you've given yourself forgiveness, compassion, all of those things. You are ready to attract the right person, okay? You're ready to make that right person think of you. The first thing I'm going to do is just pluck out of your head who you think it is, okay? Let's get that out your head. Because a lot of times we will not know someone, associate certain characteristics for them that feeds into our own needs, and really we just don't even know the person. Or you might think you know someone, but you really don't know someone until you date them, okay? So let's just pluck that out the head. And what we're going to keep instead is the feeling of being at peace. You are whole. You want someone to treat you the way that you treat yourself. You want to be able to treat someone else the way that you're treating yourself, which is respect, boundaries, understanding, compassion, forgiveness, fun, inspiration, all of those things. Whenever you're making someone think of you or trying to attract love, never let it be from desperation, fear, sadness, frustration. Let it only be from abundance, because that's how it's going to last, okay? So, as you see yourself pouring 2 hands this time into your heart, I want you to see that other person, you know, just the surrender to the right energy coming into my life. And I accept the beautiful gifts that come my way. I surrender to the right energy coming into my life. And I let go. Okay? Surrendering to the right energy coming into your life. And let go. So just infusing into your shoulders this sense of patience, this sense of just enjoying life, this sense of not trying to force it. I'm just going to move this down your shoulders. Don't run somewhere that all you needed to do was walk. Don't run somewhere that all you needed to do was walk, 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 walk. Sometimes people notice that you were meant to get there, next month, okay? And they want to run there. So instead of actually being able to get to where they need to go in 1 month, they got to do all of this, all of that, all of this, all of that, and then they get there and they're tired and exhausted. But if you're just patient, take your time, get there, fill yourself up so that you're not tired and exhausted. Remember, we just had this conversation yesterday. Taking a break, feeling grounded. You want to be with someone who is also grounded. You don't want to be with somebody whose energy is so over the place that they don't know what they want, or they don't know how to take a chill pill sometimes. Just ground. Just ground, okay? Ground, 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 ground. So, opening up your minds. I want you to think of them, okay? And I want you to say thank you for coming into my life. Maybe they're not in your life yet, but you attract what you feel. So you have to state it from it is happening now. So thank you for coming into my life. Just say that. Thank you for coming into my life. Thank you for coming into my life. I think about you often. 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 I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I like you. I like you. You always gotta like you. I like you. I'm attracted to you. I'm attracted to you. I'm attracted to you. I'm attracted to you. I have fun with 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 you. And see this person, their silhouette begin to form, just filling up, just getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And feel a warm embrace, a holding of the hands, a looking at each other. How does it make you feel? Because at this moment, the other person is thinking about you too. As often as you repeat this, they too are thinking about you, okay? But make sure your energy is grounded. Make sure that it is in place. Make sure that you can be receptive and that they can be receptive. Again, just a gentle reminder. Don't do things out of desperation, sadness, fear, frustration. That means you have to work on yourself first. But once you get to that place of groundedness, okay? Because sometimes you get to that place of groundedness in a day and you might feel a little bit off the next day and you just gotta ground yourself again. Attract that person when you are at your most grounded state. Now, how does your heart feel? As you say you love them, you're grateful for them, you enjoy the things you do, see the life that you all are going to have. Allow your heart to grow. Allow your mind to be at peace, that everything comes in the time that it needs to come. And just placing your hands with their hand, deciding not to let it go, okay? So, release, relax, and you got this. Okay. Instead, I look at it from the perspective of when a person says that they're ready for someone, they want to make their crush think about them, they want to do all of this stuff. They want a positive experience. They don't want, someone and then it's fun in the beginning and then it becomes toxic. They're not doing that. But desperation and fear will make you think, just get it to you, just get it to you, just get it to you without a doubt. Just get it in your life. Just get it in front of you. And if you're not grounded in balance, you will attract the same feelings you've always had. The feeling of frustration, the feeling of toxicity, the feeling of sadness, the feeling of you're not where you need to be, or you're not lovable, or just random things that, the mind makes up because it's bored or for whatever reasons, the numerous reasons that people have. It is very, very, very important that you utilize these energies in a responsible way. I'm not going to let you hurt yourself, okay? And I'm also not going to let you keep yourself limited. I want you to have the right person. I want the right person thinking about you. So sometimes that means letting go who you think that person is and allow the right person to come into your life that meets all your needs. You're attracted to them. They're fun. You love them. You actually like them. They're funny. They have the similar things that goals that you have. Let them be a different person. They like, different things than you or something like that. But that your personalities mesh together, okay? So come back to this whenever you need it. Listen to this. If you want added support, we do have a Patreon community. If you're feeling down and you want to feel good, head on over to the gratitude community and all that other extra good stuff too. But as I was channeling a message, the message that came up was, you are a vibe. Like, everything about your energy is a vibe. The more that you become more comfortable with yourself, the more that you use the energy of the universe to get you to where you need to go. And that really doesn't matter what your spiritual or religious or lineages are. That's a different area. This is just you getting comfortable in your own skin. And I just want to say that I notice it, I appreciate it, and youarethebomb.com. So I have some clear quartz in which we're going to just go over some chakras, just do some cleansing enhancement in order for you to just continue to vibrate at this level. Because it's so many times that we take an action when things are not going well, but what if things are going well as they possibly can be in the moment, and we just want to amplify the experience. I just want to amplify you as you're going on that journey. So I'm just going to take this and just rub it over your energy. And if you're new to the community and you're new to Reiki, like the video, share it with someone you feel like it can help, and just explain what's happening. Reiki is a style of energy healing. It started in Japan. It's actually a relatively new style of energy healing. So if you hear people say like Reiki is this ancient thing that's been around forever, energy healing is this ancient thing that has been around forever. Reiki actually has a date. It was the beginning, early like 1900s, late 1800s. That's really when it came to be. And Reiki is so new that it was very intentional. It spread to the West. That's why it doesn't have the same type of like cultural appropriation issues, because in order for it to branch out and reach this area, it was really shaped via Hawaii. And Mrs. Takata, or Reiki Master Takata, in order to kind of validate that here. So that's why you can actually go to places like you can go to session to explain how it works is whenever I'm doing things with my hands or I'm utilizing crystals, I'm initiating a response within you. Even the words that I'm saying initiates a response within you, but it's up to you to be receptive and to do the work on the inside. And the only thing that you have to do is just be open and just be like, oh, okay. But a lot of people are so stuck on the external, like they cannot understand that they create their power, that they hold their power, that they have unlimited power. They always are looking at it from the outside. So those are people who really can't wrap their mind around distance sessions because they're looking for something outside of them, something that has to be tangible, has to be explainable. And baby, there's way too many religions out here to think that someone has figured out how to explain everything thoroughly. No, people are attracted to different things because it suits their needs in different ways, or they are raised in, things like that. Just also a little added information about my background. I talked about this the other day. I have a degree in religious studies. I've also studied as an energy healing practitioner. I am, very mystical. So that's what I really focus my time on. Also studied psychology, and I went on to study public policy. So sometimes things can get systemic, but only for the highest vibrational good. And that's how I feel about things. So I care a lot about this. And I think more than anything, I care that this energy is accessible and that it's not stereotyped. And what I mean by that is, please don't get on here and think that just because someone is mimicking what they think is mystical, it is. Don't get in here and think that you have to have 50,000 crystals and you have to have 1,000 herbs and do all this stuff and have no contextual understanding of what these things are used for. It just looks good and you want to look the part. No, it doesn't have to be that. You can use any of those things. There's nothing wrong with that. You can use any of those things, or you can use what you have, because being able to afford all this stuff, that's an accessibility thing too. And see, it got systemic. So I know some people are thinking I don't even think people think that way. I think that, I just try to be mindful to free you into connecting in any way that suits you. And the way that I just explained Reiki is also an opening and an open door for you to do it whatever way you want to do it. Energy healing originally started with shamans, and I'm going to use the word shaman to explain that. Though these original healers, medicine people, the advisors and things like that, they go by different names around the world. So I'm just going to use this for this example. And they are indigenous to every area of the world. And so they are the original energy healing practitioners. And of course, over time, there has been different and other modalities that have come along. So it is really, really important that we learn. We may not be able to learn everything, but for the things that we do care about, we learn about it. And for me in general, sometimes I will kind of get into mention a little bit of Orisha work and things like that. For me personally, that's not a requirement for anybody else. It's just me personally, because I feel like as a person of color, as an African American, it is important for me to know that aspect, to know what was villainized historically through colonization, rather than just not think about it and dismiss it and stuff like that. No, and there's value in everything. So I'm gonna get off my systemic horse and basically say that you just gotta be whoever you are and whatever you are. Okay, I try to keep it real with you. I try to just kind of give you game and talk to you straight up like I would talk to own reality at the same time, okay? So this energy that you have going on, this receptive nature, this open heart, all of this stuff, it's a vibe, baby. It is a vibe, and I want you to just, smile at yourself and encourage yourself and give yourself a pat on the back, because you did that. You represent a lot. You represent every incarnation of yourself. If you believe that, it is not a requirement that you do or you don't. You represent the growth of you in your life. You represent any lineage, ancestor, connection, growth. You represent a light of many struggles in which you found peace, calm, and clarity. You represent all of those things. So smile with it, okay? Smile with every little single moment. 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 You are the goat. And you deserve to be free. You deserve to be yourself. You deserve to have this energy flowing in you that opens up so many doors, and it's just fun. This Go Get It July is about having a good time, and about fun, and about just feeling connected with, that childlike energy and just happiness. And living in your space without feeling a need to, hide. That there's nothing out here that's too big for you to be able to get to at least a clear understanding, whether that is internally or externally. Your energy is right on par for where you're going. Your energy is very receptive to where you need to go and what you need to do. And who you are, what you are, and the peace that you have flowing with you so freely and so easily. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back. You did that. You are that. You are love, and you are light, and you are life. So I want you to open up those goals that you have set for this July and find a way to ease your energy in complete laughter and understanding and clarity. Ease it in and amplify it in this moment. 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 And be sweet, okay? Just move this energy and shift this energy in as many directions that it needs to go, in as many places that it needs to flow. You are so beautiful and so fun and so creative. You're all of those things, and it is okay to accept that and to say it to yourself. You look in the mirror, you gotta say, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, pretty bitch. You gotta be able to make yourself smile. And you know what? This is an easy thing that a lot of people get. A lot of people laugh at their own jokes. They think they're so funny. They really think they're so funny. Maybe I'm guilty of that. Because I know I'm not that funny. But I think I'm funny. So, it is what it is. So continue ask yourself internally, hey, is there any insight or understanding I need to understand about this goal that I set, about the direction that I'm flowing in? Because it flows very, very freely when you're in this state. So feel free to use this moment for that, okay? Feel free to use this moment for that. Feel free to use this moment for that. Feel free to use this moment for that. No judgment, no confusion, just smiles, and just be at peace. You know, I'm not talking about like you fake it. I'm just saying, like, if you could just say, like, let me pause the game, and you just be in the moment like that. I'm gonna just pause this game. Do it. Do it. So feel free to use the comment section in any way that you need it. Sometimes people like to share their experience for others. You never know whose life you can change when you do that. Some people like to use it as their own diary to come back and have conversations. And other people just like to read other comments and, you know, encourage others. This is a higher vibrational community. It's for the highest good. And this is a safe and inclusive space. I already told you before that sometimes the conversations are, you know, emotional support, mental health, awareness and support. Sometimes it's mystical and sometimes it's systemic. You know, it's all of these things. And baby, I'm just being me, okay? I wouldn't know how to come into the space and not be able to communicate all of these things because they're so interconnected. And I really believe that as we come together and we channel nightly, that we are shifting for a higher vibrational experience. The rest of the world, or let's just say, let's make it simple and say our world. And when you are balanced, you change other people's lives too. And you don't have to do anything, you just have to be you. I am humbled and appreciative of all those of you who reach out and express how much these videos have helped. It is the sweetest thing and the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life to be able to share these moments with you all and to be a part of your self-care journey. And I think what makes it so interesting and empowering to me is that even though I am facilitating the space, you do the work. And it is much more fulfilling for me to know that you did the work and you did it than me thinking I'm ever in the place. You know what I'm saying? It's like different, like you know, the old saying, you know, giving someone a fish versus teaching them how to fish, because I feel like the teaching aspect is really when someone takes that light you're sharing, takes it, and then they share it, you know, and just keep it going. Well, family, you did a fantastic job today. I really enjoyed this moment, and just a little reminder, baby, you are a vibe. Hello. Don't let nobody tell you different, okay? So, if no one has said it to you, let me go ahead and say it to you. I love you.